imagine a world where the line between heaven and earth has gone completely dark. Silence. Absolute silence. Adam is still alive, but his eyes are haunted. He remembers the walking, the talking, the cool of the day in the garden. But that was a lifetime ago. Now, there is only the sound of wind over the dust and the memory of blood soaking into the ground. Abel is dead. Cain is gone. And God feels 1,000,000 miles away. Welcome to the dawn of human history. It's bleak. We often skip this part of the Bible. We jump from the apple to the boat, from Adam to Noah. But in between lies a valley of shadow. Humanity is splitting in two. On one side, you have Cain. He's out there in the land of Nod, east of Eden, and he is busy. He isn't praying. He's building. He's constructing the first city, naming it after his son, Enoch. It's a monument to human pride. High walls, strong towers, a fortress against a world that scares him. Cain's descendants are geniuses. Jubal invents the harp and flute, the birth of the arts. Tubal-Cain forges bronze and iron, the birth of industry and warfare. They are conquering the earth. They are making life comfortable. They are making life loud. But amidst the clanging of metal and the strumming of lyres, there is a gaping spiritual void. They have civilization, but they don't have connection. Back in the tents of Seth, things look different. Seth is the third son, the replacement, the one given to Eve to heal the wound left by Abel. Seth isn't building a city of brick. He's living simply, and then he has a son. A boy enters this harsh, dying world. Seth looks at the child. He sees the fragility of human life. He sees that we bleed, we break, we die. He names the boy Enosh. The name isn't accidental. In Hebrew, Enosh doesn't mean king or conqueror or mighty. It means mortal. It means frail. It means weakness. Imagine looking at your newborn and naming him incurable, naming him dying. It's a heavy label, but it was the most honest thing Seth could do. He was admitting the truth that Cain's city was trying to hide. Enosh grows up bearing this name. He walks the earth knowing he is dust. He isn't a demigod. He watches his grandfather Adam get older, slower. He sees the reality of the curse firsthand. The ground fights them for every grain of wheat. The sun scorches, the body fails. While his cousins in the city of Enoch are pretending they are gods, Enosh is painfully aware that he is just a man. But here is the paradox. Here is the twist that changes history. Weakness is not the end. Weakness is the door, because Enosh knows he cannot survive on his own. He looks for help. He realizes that the arts of Jubal and the weapons of Tubal-Cain cannot save a soul from despair. He needs something else. He needs the one his grandfather talks about in whispers. Genesis 4:26, one of the most important verses in the entire Bible. Listen to this. To Seth also a son was born, and he called his name Enosh. At that time, people began to call upon the name of the Lord. Stop. Don't gloss over that. At that time, at the time of frailty, at the time of weakness, that is when worship began. Before Enosh, Adam spoke with God. Abel offered a sacrifice. But this is different. Calling upon the name implies a public declaration, a corporate cry. Enosh didn't just pray in his head. He gathered his family. He gathered the line of Seth. He stood up in the middle of the desert and said, "We are weak, but he is strong. We need Yahweh." This was the first prayer meeting, the first church service, the first revival. While the world was busy inventing metallurgy and urban planning, Enosh invented the lifeline that sustains us to this day. He invented dependence. He looked at the emptiness of the human condition and filled it with the name of God. Think about the courage that took to admit you aren't enough. In a culture that celebrates strength, admitting weakness is an act of rebellion. Enosh rejected the path of Cain. Cain said, "I will take." Enosh said, "I will ask." Cain said, "I will build a name for myself." Enosh said, "I will call upon the name of the Lord." And was the result. The line of Cain perished. The flood came and washed away the city of Enoch, the harps, the iron swords, all of it gone. But the line of Enosh, the line of the weak, it continued. From Enosh came Kenan, from Kenan came Mahalalel, down to Enoch, the one who walked with God, and down to Noah. The lineage that saved the human race wasn't the lineage of the strong. It was the lineage of those who knew they needed God. It was the prayer warriors. Enosh lived 905 years, 9 centuries of watching the world grow darker, yet keeping the flame of worship alive. He was the bridge over the chasm of silence. Today, we live in the way of Cain again. Look around. We build our cities. We trust our technology. We distract ourselves with our music. We are terrified of silence. We are terrified of being Enosh, of being frail. We mask our mortality with filters and noise. But deep down, we know we are dust. And that is okay. Enosh teaches us that it's okay to be weak. In fact, it's necessary. You cannot call on a savior if you don't think you need saving. You cannot call on the name of the Lord if you are too busy shouting your own name. So, what is your name today? Are you trying to be the strong one? Or are you willing to be Enosh? The moment you embrace your frailty is the moment you tap into infinite strength. The moment you stop building your tower is the moment you can finally hear his voice. Enosh isn't just a name in a genealogy. He is a pattern. He is the first signpost pointing us home. He showed us that when man hits rock bottom, when he realizes he is just mortal, that is exactly where God meets him. That is where the conversation begins. Don't be afraid of the silence. Don't be afraid of the weakness. Call out. Just like he did thousands of years ago, because the God who heard Enosh is listening to you right now.